Okay. So here we're going to be looking at SD burn on the Genji. This is an open queue game in low gold. So firstly, your comp is very open queue. You have one support, one tank, 4 DPS, whereas they're running on a Lucio, which is good for their comp because they have a Rhine and a Hog, so they can move around often. The Ashe is kind of meh, so you're going to have to be looking for her mostly, and try to zone out the junk, or try to stay out of his sightlines and where he's pressuring. If you can do that, you'll take minimal damage and you'll still be getting poke off of the Hog and the Reinhardt, and you should be able to build Blade fast and you can just start a Nano Blade. Your main goal, oh, okay. That was good, okay, firstly. That was good reaction. You had the right idea, but you didn't need to use Swift Strike for that. Here. So, here. He gets stuck. This won't explode because I don't think the Ashe is... The Ashe can't see it, which means it's still going to be on the 5-second timer, right? You didn't need to use Swift Strike there, you just needed to move over to the left side where your Mercy was, and where your Diva was, so that she could stop the pressuring Ashe fire and the Junkrat spam. So you had already taken a shot down. You also, going back into spawn is bad when your supports have no ult charge. So your Mercy here needs her Valk up every fight. So that 80 HP that you just healed in spawn could have gone to the Mercy, and you probably could have had a Valk much quicker. Hold on.
Let's get you back in the fight.
You have the right idea here. Yeah. So, that was a really weird engagement. Okay. You could see her out of your corner right here. This is a very common Ashe spot and Widow spot, aside from this spot right here. This would have been a better spot for their Ashe because less sightlines. This Widow wouldn't be able to see them. Your Tracer would have just died instantly anyway because of the Junkrat, and she could have been able to shoot the dynamite there. So this is not a great position, but it'll work. Now here, what I saw was you just weren't aware enough. Again, there. You saw her, she shot you, and you didn't look at her. So we gotta improve your reaction. This was good reaction. Again, that was another good dash. Don't go back into spawn. Give your support the ult charge. Even if it means like staying low for a good amount of time. Pressuring shield is good. Good. You want to take this high ground and force their Ashe off of it. That's good. Keep the high ground. Keep the high ground. You're staying in the open a lot. So again, another thing I want to talk about. This Ashe's sightlines are huge on Junkertown. Like, we're talking massive. Give me a second. So from a top-down view, right? Their Ashe is here. You are here. You were holding right here with your deflect. Here, give me a second. Okay. So you were holding here with your deflect when you could have, one, not used the deflect and waited around here. Anyways, you could have also taken a position right here, taken the high ground and gone around for a flank and found their hog so that your teammates would have had the information. And you also would have controlled the high ground in case the Junkrat wanted to come back up. And you would have had your deflect available and your swift strike. So even encountering this hog over here is okay as long as you're outside of this Ashe's sightlines. Because if the Ashe can see you, that means the Junkrat can see you, that means their Ana can see you. I have no clue where their Lucio is. Okay, their Lucio's coming back from spawn. And your Widow's coming back from spawn too. So you don't have anyone to contest the Ashe, which means staying out of her sightlines is #1 priority. If you think about it, if you know where your team is, you know, you have a general idea of where the enemy team is. If your team is here and hasn't pushed up yet, then it stands to reason that there's someone in this area, and there's an Ashe standing there, there's a Junkrat standing there, and there's a Hog standing there covering the flank. There's also a Junkrat. Yeah, no, the Junkrat's over here now. Just gonna watch from the top. This is a good idea, going onto the Ashe, but she's in the open. She has healing. She has peel from this Hog. This Hog can come hook you. Their Ana can sleep you, nade you, and she also has Coach Gun available. You may have the damage boost, but she won't be there for long because you're solo healing. I'm gonna go back to your POV now. It would be better to right-click there. You just have an easier chance hitting, or a higher chance to hit more of your shurikens, which would have led to the dash actually killing instead of your Widow killing that for you. Again, the Lucio is not your priority. This Ashe is. As soon as this Ashe is dead, you can go into the Junkrat freely, and then you have free reign of this entire point. Walking backwards is good here. Again, right click when you're up close, but you know that. That's good. The Ashe is next. Good. She's low. Climb up. She's dead. Okay. Hog next. Nice. You should be on the Lucio almost immediately. You should always be looking for your next target. Take the high ground here. Yep. I wouldn't chase that. That is not good to chase because... Okay. The reason that you can't chase there, their spawn is right here and you just capped. There are 4 people waiting for you, namely the Reinhardt, the Ana, no, that's 5. The Rein, the Ana, the Junkrat, the Ashe, which is somewhere around, oh no, their Kree, and their Hog. Being in this position is essentially just going to kill you. Because again, if we look at it, their Kree has a sightline of you, which will absolutely shred you because you're running solo Mercy. Their Ryan is in Fire Strike / swing range. Their Ana is ready to heal this Junkrat. The Junkrat can turn around and spam at you, and this Hog is going to be here in about 3 seconds. So you need to have either one positioned here for poke. So you could poke out the Ryan, you could poke out the Hog. You could have also stayed under, gone for this flank around here, poked at the Rhine, and then eventually collapsed on this Ana, which then you could have been able to take this high ground here, which would have zoned out this McCree and this Junkrat, and the Hog wouldn't really have sightlines of you because you're in this little hallway here. Another option you could have taken is you could have gone to this high ground here and pressured out from this angle. Then you could have come around here, got free poke because nobody but the McCree would be able to shoot at you, and you'd also be out of sightlines of the Reinhardt and the Ana. So let's see what you do next. This is good, you're backing out, you're going back to cart. Again, you're standing out in the open. You were not in sightlines of that fire strike, so there's no need to deflect there. That's big. Again, that's also okay. You're following up with your Kree. That's good. Lurking for these kills, right? Yeah. That's good. You didn't really need to melee there because it just locks you into an animation that you can't cancel. You could have also looked at the... Yeah, no, there's a Reinhardt behind you. That's good. You need to dash out. Yeah. At this point, you just need to get out because you're down like 3, or you're down 2. Now you're up, so staying in is okay. Your movements are a lot slower than I would like them to be though. So, okay. Map knowledge. Firstly, if the Lucio comes through here, and he starts going to this side, he wants the Mega, and then he wants to go to high ground. Instead of coming here to chase, why not Swift Strike over here to meet him? Take the health pack, because you're already half health, and then you can just take that duel there, with help from your Diva and your Tracer, because you're in their sightline. instead of chasing through here where no one can see you. The Lucio has free poke if they just look at you through here, because you're going to come through here. I do not believe you have your deflect up. You do. Okay. Okay, and you don't have your Swift Strike, but it's okay, because you could have also just walked through to the other side because you were closer. The deflect was okay. That was a good reactionary deflect. Now that you've seen that, yeah, you want to take that. Now that your solo healer is dead, you need to exit the fight now. This flank is bad because if it doesn't pay off like it did, then you're screwed. If you're, that would have been a good play if there was more of an escape plan behind it and you had more chances to live. That's good there. You're pushing the cart, but you need to go grab the Mega behind you. This Mega also works. But it's closer to their hog, which is essentially just going to kill you if you didn't have deflect. That's good. They now have a Reaper. And they're running solo tank hog. Okay. Now, if we turn around, the door only just opened. Here, I'm gonna go back a little bit. You're here, no one can see you. So the Reaper comes out here. The Reaper's in that room. You cap the point, you come around. The door is only just opening. And your Mercy wasn't back yet. You were out in the open, facing 5 people. That is a no-no, because if you're the only one there, if they hadn't seen that Tracer coming around, you would have been their only target and everything would have been focused on you and you would have died immediately. Playing walls and natural cover is your best friend. So if you can peek out here, dealing like chip damage onto their hog, or to their Reaper, and then coming back around, waiting for your Mercy to come in, and as soon as your Diva comes in, then you're okay, because then she's going to be taking the brunt force of most of the Reaper and the Soldier, etc., you know? So just play a bit more natural cover, and you'll be taking much less damage. Going back to the payload is good. I wouldn't chase that. That's a Reaper. He will eat you. He eats you for breakfast. The Reaper is literal Putega, so I don't understand why he didn't kill you there. But they get the res off. Your Soldier, yeah, you gotta go for the Soldier here. Okay. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, I guess that was okay. Gotta have more of a plan when you're playing it, right? So you know you wanted to come in here and blade those 3. How were you going to do it is the question. There's a mechanic that you can use that's a short dash, right? You can essentially cut the distance of your dash by dashing at their feet. Like at your feet around here. And then you can pop the blade 180. You can get a slice onto all 3 of them because you just short dashed here into his range. Instead, the Lucio gets to go out for free, the Mercy gets to go out for free, and you're left with only the Soldier to blade. And you went right through them. The Mercy and the Lucio would have gotten out anyway, but you would have spent... You would have hit that first slash. You wouldn't have needed to do that 180 slash much quicker, because, you know. That second dash was weird. It doesn't land... Okay. In Blade, what you want to do is you want to make sure your dash connects onto something. If you dash close to someone, but they're not in slash range, that's a waste of a dash, and that's a waste of a slash. So you've essentially just cut off 1.5 seconds off of your blade for no purpose other than getting closer to the target, which you would have been able to do anyway. You miss another slash, that's another second off. You hit that one, and you hit that one, and everything else just connects. If you can do what you did onto that Lucio, but onto everyone, your blades will be much quicker, it'll be much cleaner, and you'll be able to chain them together much easier. Their Ana is still alive, which means you let the sorry, you let them get out for free. Unless she was already in spawn and died. There's no reason for you not to be poking. Don't do that. Don't use your dash to engage. Use your dash to get out. Or to secure a kill, to get another dash reset, and to get out. Your dash is your main tool for escaping and living. Firstly, not peppering this soldier whenever you can, and not kind of understanding that they're in this general area is an awareness issue. You need to be always doing something on Genji to maximize your uptime, to build your next blade, to have them consider you more of a threat. By dashing in like that, you've opened yourself up to 3 ways to kill you. Maybe 4. 1, this Ana sleeps you, the hog hooks you, you're dead. 2, the hog hooks you, you're dead. 3, the soldier helixes you, the Ana antis you, you're dead. 4, the monkey comes out, jumps on you, you don't have dash to get out. 5, the sleep combo works just fine. Shoot nade shoot, you're dead. And a combination of all 4 would, I guess, be like the 7th way to die, because you don't have any way to get out after you use your deflect.
The advantage is mine.
This should have slept you. The reason it didn't is because of this poor Tracer's blink. All of that damage was going to go to you, and you would have died instantly. Your Tracer fucking get down Mr. President to your ass, and that's the reason you're alive right now. Seeing that, yep, you get out there, and you play around the cart. You use your primary fire way too much when you're close range. You should always be right-clicking, like right there, yeah. You should be right-clicking there, too. There you go. You don't need to melee, or you don't need to primary fire. Dashing out is a good idea. Their Lucio is there. Right-click it, yes. No. So, I wouldn't suggest primary firing unless you're guaranteed to hit something, because it doesn't look like your mechanics are good enough yet to consistently land those. So if you can get into close range and right-click, then do it. Again, the reason you got right fucked there was because look where you are, look where your team is. Their Ana has sightlines of you, their Hog has sightlines of you, their Monkey's there, their Lucio's there. You're alone. You're the only one there to take that force. So now that you're in open space, the D.Va's playing natural cover. That is fine. She's only in the sightline of the Hog. She can't be shot by their soldier or by their Ana. Your D.Va was booped back. She had the right idea in trying to eat the sleep for you, but their Lucio was there. Now, that's not the sleep, that's a soldier, or that's a soldier bullet. Either way, if we look here, you seem to be in range. She can see you. That is not good. If the Ana sees you, then she's going to shoot a sleep at you. If you see the Ana here, this is an easy sleep to hit. It's a short range. You're primary firing. You're probably going to miss most of these.
My ultimate is ready.
You're already taking primary fire damage from the soldier. Their Hog is now looking at you after his breather. You're asleep, because that was an easy sleep to hit. Their Hog is looking at you. The soldier's looking at you. Your Diva, your Mercy, and your Tracer are all back here, fighting this Lucio, who has served as a worthy distraction. Your Widow just died, and your Doomfist is nowhere to be seen, because he's up there. You're alone in a 1v3. That means you're dead, because you don't have natural cover. Or you don't have any way of protecting yourself. So you just explode. This has happened many, many times over the course of this game. Okay, you get rest.
You've rescued me again.
You seem to have completely forgotten that there is a soldier behind you. The soldier should have been your top priority there because he causes the most of a threat. He has his ult. There's an Ana probably nearby him. Yep. Where's their Ana? Their Ana's rotated back. Their soldiers behind. There's a few things there. Your Tracer's kind of papigged out. And there's a Doom. But anyways, you've completely forgotten that there's a soldier behind you. Which is my main point. It doesn't matter if it worked out or not. The fact that you've forgotten is bad. Keeping tabs on everyone in this game and every player's location is important as Genji, because then you can chain together your dash. You're not doing anything. You should be. You should be trying to either, like, you should always be doing something. So even if that meant shooting at the bubble, that's good. Because the sooner you break the bubble, the more silence you have. This is okay, you're getting out. They're chasing, so use this wall here. You're standing in the middle right here. You should have been using that wall. Jumping down again. You're just literally again. By jumping out of that corner, you've successfully removed every single ounce of protection you had. Because now that you're right here, they're all looking at you, and then you dashed in without landing anything or securing a kill. Because of that, their monkey is now in. Your Mercy had to pop Valk, and your Diva was already demaxed, so she's trying to remech now. Again, lack of awareness of where the players are. You could dash in without connecting, or securing a kill. You're standing in plain view. So try to play around the cart more and use the cart as a form of protection and natural cover. Okay, she still has sleep. I don't know why she didn't sleep. You look to dash on that. As soon as you see they're low HP, that is good, but you had to turn around and deflect immediately. Yeah. That's what you were saying. I don't think I'm gonna do all of this because it seems to be the same issues over and over, so I'm only gonna do this attack for the review. Again, poke up here until you're ready. This also works, I guess, but you're standing in the open again. Okay, the main problem I have with your gameplay. You're standing without, like, peek or jiggle peeking so that you take minimal damage. You're always taking as much damage as you possibly can. You can't shoot back at them because they have the bubble, so why are you peeking this far out? You could be chilling right here, jiggle peeking, breaking the bubble, and then taking the high ground, which is what your Reaper is doing. Because high ground control is extremely important for Genji. If you can get to high ground, do it, because it'll force anyone on there off, and you have a more advantageous position, and you get more information about where everyone is. You're gravitating towards the cart, that's okay.
Heroes never die.
You then need to dash out there. Your Mercy was there for Valk. You now have no dash to start your Nano Blades. Or your damage blade. They have now beat it for some reason. Now is the time for you to blade. Because you need to kill them all now. If you don't, you lose. Because you're probably going to C9. Dash back onto cart. That's good. Focus the monk. Good.
Let's get this moving.
You now have boost blade, which is okay that you didn't use it, but if okay. Again, secondary firing would have been better. Now you blade. Blade. Kill this. You need to engage this fight with your blade so that you can win the point. As soon as you die, your team has no ults and you're already down 1. If you can manage to get 1 or 2 picks, your team is okay if you die, because then they'll be able to push back whatever they have. And ideally, you kill both their supports. Their soldier is in dash range. But because you didn't blade early in the fight so that you could kill them quick, their hog gets an ult off, he kills you. And they have free reign of touching the cart. As soon as a fight begins, you want to blade. Because nothing is looking at you at that point. If you can get through your blade animation and you can successfully land a dash onto a target, they're essentially dead. And if you can get those picks, you win the fight. Because it's overtime, you had to use your blade. If you die with blade in overtime, you don't get to use it. And not using your ult when you could have is, like, devastating.
We still need you.
You just get rolled here because they just have more sustain than you do. I think that's all I need to say.